What are the key tools that you need in order to be embodied? Whether you're talking about feminine embodiment, soul embodiment, whether you're talking about sensual embodiment. What are the core tools that are going to help you be in your power, be in your sovereignty, help you come into and access your body's wisdom? Those are the things that I want to talk about. The three keys during today's Soul Sovereignty and Sexuality podcast with myself, Jessica Falcon, an international soul embodiment guide and relationship coach. And when I say soul embodiment, I have several other episodes on what soul embodiment is. And so if you haven't already heard that, go back to those prior episodes. I'll try to put a link in the show notes as well. But embodiment itself, what does it mean? Let's explore that in and of itself without going into soul embodiment. What does embodiment mean? Embodiment, to be in your body, right? And what that means in terms of how we practice this is what you know in your body, is what you know in your head translating in how you feel and how you show up in the world. If you are feeling a massive disconnect between, say, what you feel and what your life is showing you, how you're showing up in your relationships, and what you know in your head. For example, I used to be a women's rights advocate for 10 years, criminal prosecutor for, an attorney for 7 years, and I still found myself, even though I knew I was equal, even though I knew that I had the right to be there, mentally, I still found myself not taking up my space, apologizing for who I was, putting others above me on an emotional level, because my knowing of my equality, for example, or my worth in my head wasn't embodied. And so embodiment is to know it and to feel it in your body, to know it and feel it in your cells, to vibrate at that frequency. That's when it becomes embodied. So there are a lot of tools that I could give you, and which is the reason I have this podcast. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, because there are tons of tools that I give on a regular basis to help you go deeper into various aspects of embodiment and power and sovereignty. But all of them require these three things. One, you actually have to go into your body. It sounds obvious, but I can't tell you how many people want to be embodied in their wealth, in their abundance, in how they show up in a relationship as confident, as sexual, and yet don't spend time in their body. You have to spend time in your body. Now, the reason that I developed the Sacred Body Wisdom online series is because we're not taught how to go into the body, and most people don't know how to go into the body. And it is a practice that we have to learn. It's a skill that we have to develop. And by going into the body, what do I mean? Bringing your awareness, your mind's eye, your third eye, into your body to connect with the energy within, the energy between the contours of your skin. So we're not going into the body to connect with the body as a physical object. We're going into the body to connect with the energy, the wisdom, and the truth within. This is one of the very first things that I start my Sacred Body Wisdom workshops and teachings with, because we are so conditioned to see the body as physical, as a purely 3D object. But it is a vast portal to the divine, to your soul, to your inner and true self. When you bring your mind's eye, your third eye, into the body, you bring your hands to the same place. Say it's your heart. You bring your breath into your heart. So you have your breath, you have your awareness, you have your intention to connect. That right there is magic. You are breathing into it. You're bringing your awareness into it. You're connecting, and then you're just sitting. And you're just being. And you're just feeling and witnessing what is there in silence. And that is enough to connect to that part of you, to just connect. Like when you're with a person, you just connect. You connect, you see, you hear, You open to receive them. It is the same with yourself. It is the same with the parts of your body. You go in, you bring your awareness, you open to receive what is here. And you can ask questions. Help me see what you want me to see. Help me know what you want me to know. Help me feel what you want me to feel. And you be. And you be, and you be, and you be, and you listen, and you create the space. You create the time to hear yourself, to see yourself, to connect to the energy inside of you. Number one key. To create the time and space to go into your body, to hear and see and feel. Number two, you have to feel. You have to feel. You can't go into your body or your heart without feeling. I know that there's a lot out there about feelings as inferior, feelings as weak, especially in the spiritual world. It continues to be perpetuated, this idea that the more spiritual you are, the less you feel, the less you care, because you rise above it all. And the reality is, if you have a heart, your heart feels, and therefore you're going to feel. And you are not your feelings. Your feelings are giving you information as to what your truth actually is. They lead you down the path to your truth, which is why I say when I work with my clients one-on-one, we use the feeling as a starting point and we take it into past lives. We take it into old trauma. We take it into stagnant energy so that they are freer and freer and freer and freer and freer. Now, when you go into the body, you create this time and space, key number one, and you, as you're creating this time and space, you notice the feelings that are there because there are feelings inside. Some of them might be suppressed feelings. Some of them might be there from a long time ago. Some of them might be new, daily feelings. Might have just happened. You have to feel them. You have to feel them with the awareness that you are not your feelings. You have to feel them with observer consciousness, witness consciousness. That's a key of most meditation practices, that you're developing the capacity to witness your thoughts, your feelings, your experience without attaching or identifying with it. Is essential to go into the body and to feel, because if you're just noticing what you feel and then you attach to it and you identify with it, you're perpetuating that feeling and you're amplifying its energy instead of getting really curious and opening your heart to it, which is key number three. You have to open your heart. Now, to open the heart is quite a journey because most people, consciously or unconsciously, have a lot of boundaries around the heart, a lot of resistance, a lot of bars, keeping in love, keeping out love, keeping people from receiving love. And there are, I could do many, many episodes on how to open the heart more. But for the purpose of the simplicity of this episode, know that you have to open the heart. One of the ways you can start to open the heart is simply to spend time in your heart. Feel the energy of your heart. Let your heart expand within and around you. Let your heart talk to you. Give it space to talk to you. Like key number one, do this with your heart. And the more you do this with your heart, the more your heart's going to open. Now, I recommend that you do key number one in your belly as well, and in your solar plexus, is the three main areas of the body. You can do it anywhere. You can do it into your throat. You can do it into your third eye. You can do it into your feet, anywhere. The more you bring your energy and awareness down further into the body, into the root, into the womb, into the core, the more you're going to anchor that energy into you and access those lower chakras. By lower, I just mean lower in the body, not lower as in less than or inferior, because they're not. You can't actually reach higher levels of consciousness if you're not anchoring deeply into these lower chakras and your root and your womb, your primal nature. That's one of the secrets to Kundalini, which I'll talk about in another episode very soon, if not next week. Bringing your awareness allows the energy inside of you to begin to vibrate and to begin to move and to begin to move into your consciousness. And if your heart is not open to receive what arises within you, then it just stays stuck and goes right back down where it was. That's why key number 3, to have your heart open to receive what is inside of you. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. You definitely don't want to identify with it or attach to it. You observe it, you get really curious, and you spend time with it, especially if it's a recurring feeling, recurring experience. You spend time with it. You acknowledge its presence, and then you allow the energy to move. You allow the energy to inform you. You allow the energy to show you what you need to see on a soul level to heal that wound or that energetic imprint to come back into your power. There's a lot more I could say about specific ways to come into your power and your sovereignty. And in many respects, it's very individual. Each person has their own path to what they need to see within them to come into their power and sovereignty. But the key to that is starting in the body. Starting in the body, starting in the body, the embodiment piece, to be fully present, to receive everything around you, to be sensual, to be sexual, to be alive, to be radiant, to be magnetic. All of it starts as you coming into your body and creating the capacity to feel safe in your body. And one of the reasons that we don't go into the body, one of the main reasons, is that we don't feel safe to go in the body. And that's why it's helpful to have a guide such as myself or someone else to hold that space for you, to create that safety for you to go into the body. And that takes time to build that safety. Another reason we often don't go into the body is because we're afraid of what we're going to see inside. This came up. I was just teaching a workshop in upstate New York. Sorry, there are little gnats around. If you see me, they're trying to whisk them away. I was just teaching a workshop in upstate New York, which is where I am right now. And that came up, with several of the participants, that there's this fear, right, of what am I going to see inside when I go inside the body? What's that truth I don't want to know? What's that feeling I've been avoiding? And you can't keep avoiding it if you want to go into the body and be your own authority and truly take up that space internally that is you and reclaim your power. And you don't have to admit the truth to everybody or act on it quite yet, but if you can just bring that up into your own awareness, that's beautiful. Just at least be radically honest with yourself, even if you don't tell another soul. Or again, have a trusted confidant, have somebody that's a guide to help you with that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sum this up. So this is a nice, hopefully short, concise, clear episode. Embodiment, the 3 main keys. Number 1, create time and space to go into your body, to connect with its energy, and just listen and be. Key number 2 to embodiment is to acknowledge your feelings, to let them rise to your awareness, to let them be there, to let them move. And key number 3 is to open your heart and receive all of you with love, to acknowledge what is there, to allow the energy to move without attachment, without identification, but with pure curiosity. Okay, hope this is helpful. Leave your comments, leave your questions. I also want to mention that I'm doing a free online event called The Power of the Feminine on Tuesday, July 22nd, which also happens to be the feast day of Mary Magdalene, hence why I chose the 22nd. For many years, there have been ways that I've honored the feast day of Mary Magdalene, including leading a parade around Asheville one year, which is a lot of fun. And this feels like a really beautiful way to talk about the power of the feminine and the ancient path of power, because there's a lot out there about the feminine, about power, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about the ancient feminine path to power, which is my specialty, my research, and the ways in which I've been initiated into feminine power. And during that event, you'll hear more about the upcoming Sacred Feminine Power Retreat to Greece. We're about half full, so there are a few spots left. You can learn about all of that and register for the free online event at thepathtosovereignty.com. I'll put the link below, and I would love to see you there. Lots of love. See you next week.